Hi Sam, this will be some video feedback for you on the web banner. We have 2 weeks remaining, and if I can help you cross the finish line, let me know. Sam, this looks good, especially on a black background. And your silhouette of the spa products. I don't know, the sort of non-specificity of the ad doesn't bother me. Nonetheless, you may want to add more context by having a photograph, maybe of the exterior of the resort. Maybe instead of this white chevron shape, it could be a tinted back photograph. Just suggesting to give it some context. I like the border. It makes it somewhat three-dimensional, but then the type is definitely not. So, I don't know. I guess keep it that way. I am inclined to want to click on this, and that's good. So I think your animation is just right for enticing somebody to go to the website. And I think you have the right amount of information, too. Overall, it's asymmetrical. The palette of this yellow ochre is really nice against the purple. And even though it's not corporate colors, I think it looks good. Now, perhaps Shop Online could be a corporate color, maybe the amethyst or the turquoise, rather than introduce yet another color into the palette. But that's a small suggestion. I like your borders on your shapes, and you haven't just used boxes. You've used things that look like labels or certification stamps. But here's one other thing to think about with typography. This stuff is more or less centered, but not quite. So if you want to center it, fine. Shift Shop Online to the right a bit, at least to my eye. Okay, but I would rather that you emphasize the asymmetry of it, since this division is asymmetrical, and I think flush left or flush right type would go much better. So consider that, instead of centering this, perhaps you could have it sort of staggered to repeat the angle of the edge of this ochre chevron. I'm going to open it in Photoshop next. Your package is really nice here. You've got your screenshots. You don't need to use all of those, but the idea is to knit those into your final reflection somehow. And it's not mandatory, but we are visual people, and I think it's a good way of indicating your process. The PDF, I'm assuming, is of your original poster, and it's be sure that they look alike. I remarked, I think, on this how I like these irregular shaped borders. It might be worth repeating that on the web banner ad. But what you do for one, insofar as it is possible, I would do for the other. If that makes any sense here. Okay, it seems to have all your ingredients, and I see that you have things on layers. Great. That I can turn on or off pretty much at will. And you have layer adjustments too in Photoshop. Here is your timeline for your animation, simple 2 frames. That's probably adequate, but if you wanted to refine it a little bit, one thing you could do would be to add what's called tweening. Okay. And the idea is you add additional frames to in between keyframes. So I'm just going to use the defaults. And this will, the idea is to give smoother transitions. I mean, to lower the speed, or speed it up actually to 0.2 of a second, just to see what we get. So it's kind of a fade in, fade out. I don't know. Perhaps I prefer blinking as you have it. But it should be an easy adjustment, and you have the file structured correctly, and you have all the ingredients. Good job.